Hello, and welcome to World of Tech, where I try to give info about a topic that I think will be useful to any average consumer, not just the tech enthusiast among us. Today, I'll be discussing different display connectors, the differences between them, and the names of each connector. The simple definition of a display connector is a way of taking an image from your computer and displaying it, and we have a video about resolution in the iCards. Display connectors and cables are needed no matter what device you're using, and the type of connection matters, because they each have their own pros and cons and are not interchangeable. There are 5 very common modern connectors, which include HDMI, VGA, DisplayPort, USB-C, and DVI. The first connector we're going to start with is DVI, which is the least common connector on our list, but I still want you to know what it is, if you are looking at a computer and wondering what it does. DVI stands for Digital Visual Interface, and is used for older computer monitors and is an older version of VGA. Try not to use this connector because it is not very high quality and cannot support higher resolution. VGA stands for Video Graphics Array and is probably the most common video connector in your house. It has 15 different pins, which is less than a DVI cable, and most cables of this type are blue. This connector requires tightening screws on either side of it to mount it in place. VGA is a good connector for low resolutions and older displays. Most modern displays do not use this connector and is considered out of date, though you probably still connect your monitor with it. When you upgrade your computer or monitor, try not to get this as an input or output because you should try to connect to it with a new connector. Along with DVI, it is also the only connector on this list that does not transmit audio as well as video. HDMI stands for High Definition Multimedia Interface and is much newer and a better cable than VGA. This connector usually does not have to lock in and is usually used to connect devices to a TV. Cables can be any color, but there are multiple versions of HDMI, with the most modern version being HDMI 2.1, which allows for a higher frame rate and resolution. So if you play games on your device, you should use an HDMI cable. DisplayPort is a less common connector and came out around the same time as HDMI, so it's more of a modern connector. It is also most commonly found in high-end equipment for professionals and gamers. If you have a recent PC, it may have a DisplayPort output shown here. Like I said before, if you not have a compatible monitor, you can just use an adapter. This connector is used with high resolution and high frame rates. Like HDMI, it usually locks in. Like HDMI, it has a version number, with the most modern version being 1.4, which does the same thing as the latest version of HDMI. USB-C stands for Universal Serial Bus Type C. It is a different type of connector than the rest because you can also connect non-display devices to it, but that will be covered in a different video. Right now, only the newest monitors have a chance of having one. It is shaped like an oval and may be the same type of connector you use to charge your phone. This is the connector of choice for laptops that have it because it is small and can slide directly into the monitor. Like DisplayPort and HDMI, it has a version number and the newest version is USB-C 4. I would not recommend this connector unless you are relatively tech savvy because not all cables and devices work well with it. To connect a computer to a display, you're going to need one of the cables mentioned before and plug one side into the display and the other side into the computer. If this does not work and they are different display connections on either side, you can use an adapter, and you can usually find these on Amazon from $5 to $10. Once you plug in the display and it does not look correct, you can go into the monitor or TV settings and find horizontal and vertical positioning and change that to make it square in your screen. You can also change display settings on your computer to make it to the highest resolution so it looks the best. There are many things to keep in mind when shopping for a display cable because not all cables are created equal. You do not want to necessarily go with the cheapest cable because it might not last that long or be great quality. Some things to keep in mind are, if you get a chance to go for a braided wire, do it because they will last longer and be more flexible to bending. Look at reviews for cables and search for broken in questions to see if the cable breaks a lot. If you're going a short distance or are on a really small budget, you can go with a cheap cable as long as you don't move it around a lot. It should be fine, but I would not trust it totally. If you're buying a more expensive cable and know your computer or display both support the HDMI, DisplayPort, or USB standard, make sure that is on the product page. So, good luck on your next tech adventure. I hope this video gave you helpful information about your next tech purchase. As always, please let me know what you want me to cover in the comment section below. And that's it for World of Tech. Thanks for watching and have a great day.